Hello and welcome back to Good Knit Kisses. I'm your host Kristen and my friends with allfreeknitting.com, and I would like to present you with how to crochet cast on a long loom. Let's get started. We're going to need a crochet hook, one recommended for the yarn that you choose, and then your pick and your long loom of any size. You can also do this method on the round loom or the spool loom. I have a video on the spool loom, which I've explained in there is also for the round loom, but I've had several people ask, you know, how do you cast on a long loom or a round loom? So it might be easier to understand when you actually see it. So we're going to start with a slip knot. We're going to wrap it around our finger and take the back over the front, and then do that one more time. You're going to put this on your loom. And I am going to work on the opposite side here because you can't do it from the outside, you have to do it from the inside. So if you want one side to be your first peg, if you happen to label the peg numbers, then I want you to start on your first peg but flip it around so you can see the inside of the loom. Let that tail hang down in here, and you're going to want to bring this crochet hook where you put the yarn on the outside of the second peg, and then you're going to hook your crochet hook with this area here in between. So we're going to wrap around and then pull through. Let's do that again. We're going to put the working strand on the outside of the next peg. We're going to put our crochet hook in between the two empty pegs, and then wrap it and pull it on through. And then tug on it to get extra. Wrap this around, pull on through, wrap it around, pull on through, wrap it around, pull on through. And you get to the area that you want to be your last. Let's just say that we're going to have our last right after this one. So say I want to use all but 2 pegs on my loom. So see how I've got 3 pegs on here, but now I've already wrapped most of them. Now I'm actually going to take this and put it on the loom. So you see that last loop that you did? So now this is actually ready for you to work back the other direction on your flat panel. So what you've actually done is cast on all at one time. With the crochet cast on, you've cast on and knitted over practically. And if you had done an E-wrap cast on, you would have E-wrapped all the way down here and then gone all the way back so that you can knit over, and so your working strand would actually be over here. So, but it's because we did it all in one, you don't have to knit over, and this is completely casted on, but your working strand is now on this side. So if your directions call for crochet cast on, know that you'll be on the opposite side when you finish, unless you're working in the round, and then you'll end up right back where you started. So I just wanted to point that out, make that clear. So in a flat panel, it's going to look, let me turn this around, it's going to look a little different. So normally if you start on the left and you work your way down, this ends up here. So you may be required to build up this row, and then they start calling it row 1. So just check your instructions. If you're making up your own pattern, just be aware of that. And it's a beautiful stitch. It comes out really nicely when it comes off. It's not too loose. And I want to thank you again for joining us at Good Knit Kisses, and my friends with allfreeknitting.com would like to wish you happy looming.